guys, welcome back to the Sarai show. So we're at the dog park right now. What do you do when the person you're trying to save is your own sibling, but you're barely keeping yourself together? That's what I wanted to talk about. It's been on my mind. You think love and loyalty will be enough until the panic attacks hit. You can't sleep anymore, and every single phone call feels like it might be the one that changes your life forever in a tragic way. And so this is about the kind of emotional load that no one talks about. Supporting someone in a full-blown mental health crisis while silently battling your own. So one of my siblings has bipolar disorder type 1. And for those of you who don't know the difference between type 1 and type 2, because a lot of people always get those confused, I want to break it down. Type 1 is the most severe form. It includes full manic episodes that can spiral into psychosis. A lot of the time it includes hospitalization for a couple of days. That means losing touch with reality, hallucinations, paranoia, delusions of grandeur, thinking people are watching them, thinking you are a part of a conspiracy. So it's not just being extra happy or extra productive. It's not like bipolar disorder type 2, where the highs are hypomanic and more manageable. Type 1 can land someone in the hospital, or worse, in jail or dead. And once that line is crossed into psychosis, it's terrifying for everyone involved. Oh, little bear. It's okay. My sibling has been hospitalized twice for this. His previous episodes didn't start a full-blown crisis. The illness doesn't really develop until later in life, like in adulthood. So it started slowly. A few missed nights of sleep, then phone calls every hour, racing thoughts, paranoia, grandiose plans. Then the accusations started. You're working against me. My family is my enemy. And then came the delusions. I'm being tracked, or someone is spying on me. The cops are after me. Every manic or psychotic episode causes real brain damage. Every time it happens, his memory, his executive function, his ability to think clearly erodes a little more. So that's why this is so critical. That's the part that haunts me, because my sibling is very high functioning even when he is in psychosis. Well, to be fair, all my siblings are highly intelligent, but this sibling in particular is the chemical engineer who is getting his PhD as a mathematician. He has always outperformed his peers in science and math. So the fear we all have as a family is that this time might be the one that takes something we just can't get back. And that's just terrifying. And all of this was happening while I was barely hanging on to my own mental health. I have PTSD, complex trauma, and bipolar disorder type 2. And trying to support someone else through their chaos while my own nervous system is on fire, that's a recipe for collapse. Now, when someone with bipolar 1 is showing early signs of psychosis, time is very critical. It is considered an emergency. It's a crisis to get this person help to hopefully stabilize them before they reach a full psychotic episode. And so one of the challenges that comes with that is convincing the patient that they need immediate help. And it is very challenging because a lot of the times a manic person at some point loses the self-awareness to recognize their own symptoms. That is literally one of the symptoms. The other challenging part is to help the patient advocate to minimize the collateral damage while they're unstable, meaning helping them gain special accommodations with their university and employer so this doesn't hurt their performance while they're unstable until they're themselves again. So naturally, this is very stressful. Our family tries to be a good support system for one another, but especially for this particular sibling. But it's also a very complex illness, so we've made a lot of mistakes. For his most recent episode, I happen to be one of the few people my sibling trusted during this past episode that just happened. So I had to be the most engaged with him. But soon after that, I wasn't sleeping either. I was working full time. I was managing my dogs, and they could kind of sense that panic was rising. And I was researching everything because I was just too afraid to make a mistake and push him into psychosis instead of helping him get the help that he needed. I used ChatGPT, Google, and all the resources that you can think of. Everything at like 3 a.m. almost every time. How to get a loved one help without their consent. How to convince a loved one that they need help. Signs of psychosis, mental health advocacy rights. And so the point is, no one trains you for this. No one tells you how lonely and scary it is to be the one interacting with the patient, hoping you're correctly tracking symptoms, contacting their doctors, their entire medical team, preparing legal paperwork just in case, while quietly falling apart inside of your own mind. Here's what people don't see behind the scenes when you advocate for yourself or others. Emailing and calling universities and employers, begging for disability accommodations, understanding their own processes for getting this done, coordinating with employers' HR to protect their job, reaching out to therapists, case managers, anyone who would listen, creating a spreadsheet to track everything, medication, sleep, triggers, symptoms to see if they're actually getting better or if the symptoms are worsening, writing a crisis letter just in case I ever had to prove to the court that he was a danger to himself. And all of that while battling my own flashbacks, depression, anxiety. I canceled my own therapist appointments because I just could not focus, or I just had no emotional capacity for it. I started obsessing over the safety of my dogs. I didn't trust my own judgment because, who is going to help me if I fell apart, especially when my sibling needed me the most? So I started to resent my sibling, oddly enough, and even my parents. Then I hated myself for it. I felt guilty for being tired, guilty for being angry, guilty for wanting space, guilty for being guilty. But the truth is, we are all human and we break too. I remember sobbing in the kitchen one night, whispering to myself, I'm not a therapist, I'm his sister, and yet I was the one doing a lot of the work. And I was afraid to tell anyone how bad it was getting because I thought they'd think I was overreacting, or maybe that would just alarm everyone else and make things worse. And then, of course, there's always that feeling of how do you walk away from your own family? And the scariest part was realizing we were unprepared, even though we thought we had prepared. We had a full crisis plan and a full support team, but somehow it kind of felt like it was all on me this particular time. And there were holes in the plans. So now we're creating a better one, not just for him, but for the support team as well. So for me too. And if you're watching this and you're in a similar situation, here's what you'll need. You're gonna need a crisis plan, medication list, contacts, diagnosis history, signed release of information forms to remain HIPAA compliant. You'll need a support team, of course, but make sure that you have a list of trusted people who can help when you can't. So a lot of backups, boundaries in writing, what you can do, what you cannot do, and your availability, and a backup plan for you, therapy, rest, safety protocols, because your mental health matters too. I learned that very quickly this time around. I wish I knew that psychosis isn't just scary, it's damaging to the brain. Every episode changes your brain forever. That being a support person comes with emotional labor most people never see. That I deserve support too. I wish I knew that you can love someone and still need to step away. You can advocate fiercely without abandoning yourself. You can say not tonight and still be a good sibling or a good support team. And you're not a failure for setting boundaries. My sibling is finally getting help. It's not perfect. There are a lot of setbacks, but we've rebuilt some trust. I'm learning to say, I can help, but I need rest first. I'll support you, but I can't sacrifice my stability. I love you, and I also need therapy, boundaries, and sleep. I'm no longer waiting for someone else to step in. I'm creating systems, I'm building backups, and of course I'm sharing this story so someone else doesn't have to go through it blind. And if you're watching this and you feel like you're drowning, trying to support someone you love, please hear me. You're not weak. You're not failing. You're not alone. But love isn't enough. A plan is. Community is. Boundaries are. And so is your healing. Take care of your loved ones, but don't forget to take care of you too. Their stability relies on your stability. So making your stability priority is the wisest and most selfless thing you can do for your loved ones. And I think that would apply for everyone, all of us. I will see you guys in the next one because Little Bear is tired.